Okay, Bulldog, we welcomed 18 new members to our family today, and which is very exciting. Very exciting. I want to start off by thanking all the Mississippi high school coaches for all their assistance during this recruiting period. We got a lot of great high school coaches in this state that have really helped us. Since I've been here, they're believing in what we're doing. And this year, I think we 15 of our 22 members of this year's signing class are from the state of Mississippi, which again is more than all the other schools in the state combined. And in 3 years here now, that's 51 of our players have come from Mississippi. So I thank all the high school coaches, the great job, the hard work that they put in developing these young men, preparing them for SEC football, and and helping in their assistance of having them come here. So it's been very exciting for us. This process right now, a lot of good players came in. I think one of the big areas you look at is the offensive, defensive lines, which to me is where your foundation of your program is always going to be. That's where you win and lose football games. And to come out with James Maiden, P.J. Jones, two of the top two defensive linemen in the state of Mississippi, fantastic. Really filled the need with Preston Smith today at defensive end. I know John Harris already here on campus working out. I think he's already put on 25 pounds so far in our workout programs in just the short time he's been here. So that's very exciting. We also had two offensive linemen enroll early, which really is invaluable, and hopefully in the future we continue to get more and more. I know a lot of the guys that we had enroll early, the four guys we had enroll early. Nick Redmond, the only one from in-state. We got to work harder at the being able to get in-state kids graduated earlier. I think we had several that had the opportunity to do that. Just the different school systems we're still working, getting adjusted for them to be able to do those things and hopefully get on to college a little bit earlier and continue their education faster. But with Daniel Knox coming in, Justin Mullen, who right now is playing on the #1 ranked high school basketball team in the state of Mississippi. Great athlete for a guy his size, 6'6", well over 300 pounds right now. We're going to have to slim him down and watch him. He can move some people on the basketball court, and that's a good thing. So hopefully he's moving some people on the football field for us. But when you look at that foundation on the offensive, defensive side of the lines, it's really hard to make up recruiting on at those two positions. If you ever fall behind at those positions. So really happy with those guys. Looking at just some of the athletes in this class, a guy like D. Arrington, Zach Jackson, big-time hitters in the secondary, coming in with size potential to grow, and who knows, when you look at guys like that, is one of the things we really focus on is recruiting football players. And you look at a D. Arrington who runs the ball, plays quarterback, plays receiver, plays safety, plays all over the field. Zach Jackson does the same thing for his team. Those are the type of guys that we look for. To get a Kendrick Market off a national championship high school football team, Coach Poe did a great job developing them, and meeting with him. And I think if you talk to people in South Panola, he was easily the MVP of their team, and maybe the best football player in the state of Mississippi. In Kendrick Market, it just might not put up the measurables, I guess, that a lot of people on the internet like to write up upon, but when you turn on the film and you watch them play, he makes a ton of plays. So excited for those guys. Some other big athletes coming in with Bernardrick McKinney. Again, another guy that plays linebacker, plays quarterback, plays all over the field, which is what we look for. Devin Fossman, a great receiver. Talking to a lot of the coaches with Devin Fossman, Joe Morrow, down at the Mississippi-Alabama game. A lot of opinions that they were the top two receivers at the game, and so very happy to have those guys on board. I don't know who I'm missing. Rufus Warren, another one that we're very excited. But part of recruiting, and this is what I'm excited. I think our staff did a great job this year. Is the recruiting and evaluation of players, making sure they're going to fit our program. With the time, I have no idea how good a recruiting class this is. I'll tell you that in a couple of years. And what we look of, and now the last two recruiting classes we've been here, we signed 53 players in those two classes. 47 of them are still contributing to our football team. One of them is playing professional baseball for the Reds, and one of the other ones just re-signed to come enroll this fall having completed his junior college work to get here. So if you look at that percentage for us, is making sure that we're finding the players that fit our program, that fit what we're looking for, and give us the ability to develop them for the future. That's a pretty good statistic for us that I look at. And that, to me, is how you evaluate a recruiting class. And so pretty good. Hopefully these guys, we continue that. Hopefully we've done a great job of this evaluation of these guys, that they fit that mold that we're looking, in the 90 percentile range of these guys that we sign contributing to our football program in the coming years. Not just in 1 year, over a course of years that these guys are still involved in the program. So we're pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about these young guys. We think they fit that profile, and very happy. Excited about our future. Very excited about our future.
Any questions? We'll get your microphone.
Total class of 22 with 4 early ones. Is that partly because of the number of guys you redshirted the past year, and also the 85 minutes?
Well, a number of scholarships. Yeah, we as you look at it right there, the number of scholarships that we have, we're not going to. You hear all this talk of gray shirting and all the people over-signing. That's not our program. We have a distinct plan in what we do for young men. When you hear about how unethical some of those things are, hard for me to tell our guys that we're going to be a man of our word, and then I'm not a man of my word during the recruiting process of these young men. That's not the type of program we are. So, but for us, that's how we looked at it. That's how the numbers fit for us. If we didn't have a very big senior class, we actually don't have a very big senior class again next year. So, our numbers will probably be maybe even less next year, depending on attrition, on those 3 to 4 guys maybe a year, that last 10% that doesn't make it through the program.
If you look at the lines, especially the defensive line, where you maybe want another guy or two in there to get some more depth than you wanted, and then also tell me a little bit about linebacker, just getting one guy.
Yeah, well, the issue, the question of linebackers, who else is going to play that position? Because there's when you look at guys that are 6'2", and over 200 pounds, we don't know how they're going to grow or develop through the year. So I don't know how that's going to sort out in the end at those positions. Again, we go look for football players and make it fit. Now, defensive linemen, we signed 4 defensive linemen. I think you're always looking for them. If we're ever going to be heavy at a position, I want it to be on the offensive line or defensive line. And even especially defensive line, because we rotate and play so many guys at that position in the course of the game. And but I'm happy with the 4 that we got. You're always going to look for them. Like I said, if we have to be, when we balance out our roster of where people are, if there's one position, it's okay to be over a guy or 2 guys. It's on that defensive line. So, but when you bring in 4, that's a full defensive line in the freshman class. That's pretty solid. I'd like to try to do that every